What's up, besties? Welcome in to Turning Tides Tarot. My name is Alicia. Thank you so very much for being here with me, loves. I hope you all are having just a really good weekend. Or whenever it is that you're coming across this reading, it's going to be timeless. But I have to tell you that Spirit actually I don't know. I was just like doing some chores because it's the weekend, and I kept hearing the word Stepford wives. Stepford wives. Now, it's interesting because I know there's a movie and I know it stars like Nicole Kidman, right? From I think it's the 90s. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the 90s. But anyway, I don't know if the movie has any significance here to the reading, but I do know that there is this vibe of like someone who puts on this like air of perfection. And I started tuning into this, I don't know, message that was coming through with Stepford Wives. And I feel like Spirit is calling me to do a reading on, I want to say that they're a karmic person, okay? Because it's somebody who's like pretending that they're walking around basically like their ish don't stink. Okay, you know the type. They kind of walk in a room, all smiles and like perfectly coiffed or whatever, put together. And they really paint this picture of perfection, right? But I feel like you could just tell or there's something really off with this person. Like it's all fake, right? And I'm pretty sure that was like the premise behind that movie in the 90s. But anyways, I feel like for some of you, this is going to be about a karmic that maybe is attached to your divine masculine if you resonate with being on a twin flame journey. Or maybe it's about, the person that, was chosen over you in a romantic situation, because it gives somebody who, I don't know, looks really good in person on paper, but inside, like they just got this rotten soul. Okay. It could even be for others of you, like a new friend who just waltzed right into your group chat, acting like, everyone's bestie when really they had this hidden agenda. So it's giving kind of like sinister energy, but looking really good and looking really perfect on the surface. Okay. So, I gotta tell you, I feel like Spirit is about to unmask this person. And I feel like, Spirit's going to completely expose their true colors. All right. And I'm pretty sure that is like, correct me if I'm wrong. And if you've seen that movie, The Stepford Wives, I'm pretty sure that is, I should have Googled it. Honestly, I should have. I'm pretty sure that's the premise. Like they get exposed for being absolutely rotten and evil. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, I feel like Spirit's like going to be exposing this individual because, behind that flawless little front is a very, very messy person, right? I'm talking somebody who's like lying constantly, like lies on lies. And I feel like even some of them might be like cheating or they're stealing. I'm getting the Seven of Swords popping up in my head here when I think about this person. And I feel like some of y'all are really about to find out that either this person's been stealing money, energy, clout. I don't know what it is. It's basically anything that they can get their grubby little hands on, okay? It is giving straight up klepto energy, okay? And I feel like the gag is, again, you already know. You already knew, and I feel like you saw through this person and their facade the whole time. So I do feel like Spirit's giving me this reading today where this karmic's dirty laundry is about to be aired out pretty publicly. And that perfect picture is basically cracking, And I feel like, again, you must have called this out. And there may have been some clapback, you may have said some things like, I don't believe this person is that nice, or I feel like there's something more to this person, and I feel like anybody who is really doubting you, they're about to basically choke on their words, like, and honestly, you don't even have to lift a finger. I feel like this is something that Spirit's got your back here. And I feel like there's some karma that's about to drag their mess into the spotlight. I gotta be honest. So, bestie, grab your popcorn because you know what? You were right all along, and their mask is 100% slipping. So I am going to ring the sound bowl. I'll call in spirit. Thank you for tuning in and staying with me. We're going to find out in this reading, I guess we'll just look at, what's the truth that spirit's going to expose, and we'll dive in from there. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm calling on spirit with so much love and so much gratitude. I ask for divine guidance as I interpret these messages. May they help us all on our journey towards our highest and greatest good. I'm asking for love, joy, peace, abundance, and protection for myself, for you, and for all beings on the planet at this time. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, what's the truth? What's the truth here that you're going to be exposing, Spirit? What is the truth that's about to come out about this karmic person or this fake friend? We have the Two of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups. What is the truth that's about to come out here about this karmic individual? We have the Fool, interesting, and the Page of Wands. This is interesting because it looks like really good energy. I have to tune in to figure this out. Okay, I really had to dig a little bit deep into this energy because, of course, the person that we're reading on is selling this really beautiful, very positive image of themselves. And even the cards that came out really kind of represent that because, I mean, on the surface, it looks like, wow, they're independent. They've got everything they need and more. They're maybe self-made success. They're ready for a new adventure. They're, starting something fresh and very exciting and very innocent. This is all very innocent energy. But I feel like I need to be so for real. Of course, this is the image that they've been selling. And of course, it's all a facade, right? Because I feel like the tea is here. It's like this person's really been kind of shopping around in people's lives. Like, it's giving like window shopping at a mall or something. Because when I dove deeper into this energy with the Two of Wands and the Fool, I feel like they never intended to stay committed, not to relationships, not to friendships, not even to their own supposed goals, right? They're always half in and half out looking for the next shiny thing here. And with the Ace of Cups, I mean, this is the love bomb, okay? So they really poured on thick at the beginning and they act like they're over the moon for you, your crew, or even like your divine masculine or divine feminine, or however you want to interpret this. It really does feel like a fairy tale at first when you're dealing with this person, right? But it is fake intimacy, okay? It's giving that honeymoon energy that doesn't last because the second things get real, they are on to the next, right? They're never fully committed. They're never fully grounded. And with the Nine of Pentacles, it's not really giving me the normal independence vibe. This is somebody who definitely wants to look like they can stand on their own 2 feet. Okay, but what's actually happening is this person's leeching off of others. Okay, I feel like they're gonna take your money, your energy, your time, even maybe your reputation. Okay, and then parade around like they freaking earned it themselves, right? So it is kind of giving low key gold digger vibes. Okay, even gold digger vibes. Like somebody. It kind of reminds me a little bit, not word for word or anything of that copycat energy. But that's just a little bit. I do feel like they do present themselves as, being completely authentic and living their truth. They say all the right things, but really it's not. There's definitely something missing here to them. Like they haven't earned anything themselves. Okay. And I feel like Spirit keeps showing me like, I keep hearing the word klepto, like, I feel like this person literally steals what isn't theirs, okay? It could be emotional freeloading, okay? Constantly draining. as well, without ever pouring anything back into the people that they surround themselves with, and when I see the Fool and the Page of Wands, underneath the deck here, I feel like Spirit's basically saying the receipts are coming, okay? Their recklessness, their immaturity, that whole fresh start vibe, that they keep chasing, it's actually catching up to them. I feel like their history of hopping from, situation to situation, from person to person, friend group to friend group, that's what's about to be exposed. Okay, so they may have skipped out on like bills, or stolen from someone close, or lied about how they fund this perfect lifestyle of theirs, right? So I do feel like the truth that is coming out is related to the fact that they're really not this glowing, self-made success story or picture perfect lover or friend. They're a user. Okay, they're reckless, they're impulsive, and Spirit's done letting them play dress up as like a golden child. I'm hearing golden child. And listen, I mean, when this mask completely slips, people are going to be shocked, right? I feel like people are going to be gobsmacked when they find out the truth about this person. But not so much. Again, you've already seen through this individual. So I'm going to try to pull out, of course, more depth, more details uh, as this progresses. We're only scratching the surface here, so stay tuned. If you know exactly who this person is, Bestie, go ahead and give a like to the reading so we can connect with your energy here. So let me ask now, how really have they, well, we know how they've been presenting themselves. We know how they've been presenting themselves. Let's ask who they really are behind closed doors, because that's what we're trying to find out. What's Spirit going to expose? Who is this person, Spirit, really? Like, who are they behind closed doors? Magician. Oh, I just got chills. High Priestess. Okay. This is giving glamour energy. Ace of Pentacles. I just heard glamour. So they could work with, do spell work here. What's at the bottom of the deck? We have, that's the Hangman, and then we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So yeah, I mean, on the surface, they make themselves look like this, picture perfect person, right? But behind closed doors, I mean, with this energy that's come out here, and like I said, it's giving me chills. I mean, this person is a master manipulator. Okay, like, I don't just mean like socially, I mean energetically. Like, they really know how to pull the strings and play the roles and bend situations like in their favor. Okay, it's like they've got everyone under some kind of glamour spell. I was really hearing glamour, right? And so people look at them and they see, success and confidence and charm and abundance, right? But that glow, I'm really picking it up, Bestie. It's stolen. Like, it isn't theirs. They're basically siphoning it from the people around them. And it's kind of giving this like energy vampire vibe, okay? And that's the Magician here. It shows that they're channeling energy. But with the High Priestess, it's like they're doing it in the shadows, like under wraps, in a very like secret, shady kind of way. And I feel like no one around them really realizes that they're, being drained. And I'm hearing life force energy. Like, it's really dark that I'm picking up on this very dark energy. But people around them don't feel it because it's so subtle. Like, it feels very subtle. It could even leave people around them feeling like intoxicated. Okay. But as this individual, as this karmic soaks up attention, money, admiration, like even gossip, right? They flip it into fuel for themselves. So I feel like the Ace of Pentacles here is like their payday, their glow up, their lifestyle, okay? But it's not self-made. It's really stolen momentum, okay? Now with the Hangman here, I feel like this is Spirit saying like the people who are tied up with them start to feel stuck in their own life, okay? Like, have you ever noticed after like you leave a conversation with a certain person, you might feel exhausted or you're left kind of doubting yourself, right? This is this karmic's trademark vibe, right? They leave people drained and they walk away looking, even more radiant or more accomplished and more adored. Okay. And with the Three of Pentacles under the deck, it is teamwork, right? But it's twisted. Like they don't rise on their own. They really build off the energy of others. It kind of gives like parasite energy, okay? Like they're latching on to friends or lovers, right? And everyone else in their circle is unknowingly investing into them. So they're basically being propped up, by the people in their lives, and and those people are feeling stalled out, okay, because of having a relationship with this person. So, I mean, behind closed doors, this karmic isn't, a picture perfect angel, far from it. They're really this nasty little freaking manipulator who thrives on keeping others like enchanted and drained and stuck, so that they can shine, okay? And spirit is saying like, this glamour is what's fading, right? And I don't really, I know a little bit about this stuff, but I'm never going to say that I'm an expert about this. But I will say that I know that a glamour doesn't last. And I feel like once people wake up and see the truth, this karmic's empire of friggin' smoke and mirrors is what's about to collapse here. Okay. So I hope that I explained that properly, because it was really hard for me to put that energy into words, okay? But let's move on. I want to know what kind of lies or shady behavior is finally catching up to this person. I want to know what kind of lies and shady behavior, Spirit. Like, let's get some details, okay? We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Sun. The Queen of Wands. I'm actually not surprised to see the Queen of Wands, because in a lower vibration, that can really speak to somebody who works with magic in a baneful way. Okay, we have the Six of Cups. Oops, what's under the deck here? The Devil. Not surprised. Not friggin' surprised at all. Okay, this karmic has been, I gotta say that they've just been spinning illusions, okay? Yeah. That Seven of Cups basically says, they've been selling dreams and painting a picture that really doesn't exist, okay? They've had everyone under this weird haze of confusion and really unable to tell, what's real and what's not, okay? And with the Sun, showing up here in the spread, like, listen, the light is about to shine directly on their mess, okay? All their lies are about to be exposed, and they won't be able to deny it with the Sun showing up, right? Shedding light on their poor behavior, I'll say for now. And in the real world, I gotta say that some of you guys are going to really start to see some receipts of, I'm getting multiple partners, okay? Double lives, straight up like cheating scandals, okay? I feel like they were promising like loyalty, okay? But that Seven of Cups again, it says that they've been keeping their options wide open. And the Queen of Wands here in the lower vibe, this is manipulation through sex and appearance, really using their looks, their attraction, their charisma, and even like sex magic, right? To really get their hooks into people. And with the Devil under the deck here, I'm seeing someone who uses lust like a leash, okay? They know how to bind people through temptation, through obsession, through addiction even. And I feel like it's not just relationships because of the Six of Cups here. This is like someone who plays this like sweet, innocent kind of role, like the girl or the guy next door, right? They're always leaning into these feelings of nostalgia and pretending that they're super pure-hearted, right? But behind closed doors, they're toxic as hell. They're controlling. They're self-serving, right? They'll take gifts, money, favors, or even like business opportunities, okay, and twist them for themselves. Like they're only out for themselves. They're extremely selfish. And I feel like their lies are catching up to them, right? And so the lies that are catching up, it's the fact that, they're this glowing like queen bee type, right? Who everyone should admire. And the reality is they're manipulating energy, they're manipulating relationships and money for sure behind the scenes. Like this person really thrives on drama. They thrive on seduction. And I feel like that is probably the strongest tool in their arsenal, is that sex magic energy as well. And I feel like they really enjoy, now this is sick, right? They enjoy keeping people like chained to them while they play innocent. Like they get a kick out of it too. Okay. And spirit's exposing it all, right? The sun burns away all of these illusions, right? The masks, the glamour, the fake perfection, gone. It's all going to be gone, okay? And with the devil under the deck, again, this is spirit saying that they're dirty laundry. It's not just messy, it's freaking scandalous, okay? We're talking affairs, obsession, financial deceit, even using their sexuality as currency, okay? So collective, I feel like this karmic built their entire empire of influence on lies, lust, and manipulation. All right. And when the truth comes out, it's going to be explosive, And again, I feel like you were right the whole damn time about this person. So I want to know, how is this mask going to slip, and who's going to see the truth about them first? Oh, okay. The King of Wands. That gives the person they're connected to, but let's get some more context. The Four of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, we have Strength here, and then the Knight of Cups. And then I have Justice under the deck. Oh, you can't see the glare. Okay. Justice underneath the deck, which is nice to see in a reading like this. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so let me tell you that their mask is not going to slip in a very subtle way. I have to be so for real. It's going to basically crash on the floor, okay? So for many of you, this karmic is about to get exposed to the person that, they've been trying to keep under their thumb, okay? So whether it's their partner or your divine counterpart, okay? Or if this is about a friend group, it's the person that spends the most time with them. All right. And I really need to talk about this Four of Pentacles, because in this deck that I'm using, you can see someone sitting on a box, right? And I feel like Spirit is showing me very specifically that this karmic has a stash, right? So it could be like a little memory box, or this like a safe of kind of like trophies. It's kind of giving, I kind of want to say Dexter, because I don't feel like they're like a murderer or anything like that, but it's giving like a box of receipts, or okay, like trophies, a proof, some kind of proof of their entire mess, okay? So it could be stuff like, old love letters and photos and jewelry or gifts from like exes, or even cash and items that they've swindled, okay? Things that they've stole, like, whatever it is, it's about to be discovered, okay? By the person that they're close to. So it's going to be like finding a shrine to all the lives that they've touched and all the people that they've drained. And I feel like that is also kind of part of their magic. All right. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyways, so I don't want to go too deep that way, because I'm just don't want to go there energetically. But I got to tell you, with the Wheel of Fortune, this is like a turning point. This is karma. Okay, because the wheel doesn't always spin in your favor, right? We got to be for real. Let's talk about the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it spins you straight into the mess that you created, right? Because it's all about reaping what you've sown, and this karmic is about to reap exactly what they've sown here. Their good luck streak is running out. It stops here. It stops today, And now with the Strength card, it really tells me that, the person who discovers this, right, whether it's your divine counterpart, sorry y'all, or that really close friend in the group, okay, either way, however this resonates for you, they're going to have to dig deep, right? Because it's going to take a lot of strength not to crumble when they realize they've been played. But here's the thing. Once they see it, they can't unsee it, right? And so what does the karmic do? Let's enter the Knight of Cups here. I feel like they're really going to try to like smooth talk or love bomb or charm their way out of it. Like they're going to say, oh, no, 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 that was the old me. You know, I used to be like that, but I've changed. You know, I love you. I'd never do that now. You know, they're going to pull out every line in the book, okay? Every tear, every promise. You know, they might even try to like recast, you know, the glamour, right? You know, just put that spell back on. But with justice under the deck, Spirit says, nope, not today, Satan. The spell breaks here, right? So the truth is going to cut through all of these illusions, right? The lies, they can't survive the light that's coming through, okay? This karmic is not going to be able to talk their way out of this one, right? Their dirty laundry is all the way out, and everyone close is about to see the mess for what it is. And, you know, I feel like this is where it gets a little bit interesting because for those of you resonating with the divine counterpart, especially divine masculine, I'm getting, you know, if this is resonating with your divine masculine, justice and the Knight of Cups together, you know, I feel like this is giving an apology. You know, I'm picking up on some kind of like apology or them reaching out to you or having this moment of realization where, you know, your divine counterpart sees the truth about the karmic, remembers everything that you warned them about, okay, and feels the weight of having chosen wrong, okay. So this could be this turning point where they finally gather the strength to make it right with you, all right, especially with the strength, like these three cards especially, and I mean four too with the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, if this isn't about romance, it is the same kind of vibe. Like the person who's been closest to the karmic is about to break free, cut the cord, and really finally see them clearly. And when they do, they're going to start remembering who always told them the truth, right? Who always saw through the illusion. And, you know, that's you, bestie, right? So I feel like this is where I'm going to stop for now because, I mean, Spirit is dangling a big old thread here. If this was your divine counterpart, the cards are basically hinting that this discovery really pushes them straight into their moment of truth, right? The karmic spell breaks, you know, justice demands balance. And the Knight of Cups is giving, you know, apology, reconciliation, making amends vibes. So I am going to extend this one. The link will be in the comment section below, pinned to the top. And as always, I do always appreciate the energy exchange and support that you give to myself, the work that I do. It really does help these readings come out more often, okay? And so anyways, in the extended, we are going to dive all the way into that storyline, like what happens, you know, when your divine counterpart sees the karmic for who they really are. You know, do they run back towards you? Do they finally learn, you know, these lessons that Spirit's been trying to teach them? And if they come forward, you know, what does that look like? You know, is it a fairy tale ending or is it too little too late? Like we're going to see, right? So if you're ready to see how this karmic exposure shifts everything in your story, you can come with me to the extended because Spirit's about to spill the rest of the tea and I don't feel like you'll want to miss it. This is giving validation vibes, you know, for me anyways, and hopefully for you. So we'll dive into it further, but for everyone who's been here spending part of their day with me, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your likes and thank you for your comments and thank you for all the love that y'all give to myself, the channel, each other in the comments. You guys really are the best and you know, I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you so much just simply for tuning in. If you are new to, you know, to our readings, new to the tribe, please go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you join us. We have a tribe full of amazing humans from around the world, and we are here together, chilling out, reading cards, reading energy on the almost daily. Okay, so thank you. I'll see you in the extended, or I'll see you in the next reading, loves. Bye. Okay, loves, welcome into the extended. Thank you so very much again for your energy exchange. Let's just dive right into this. What is your divine counterpart realizing now, okay, about the karmic, the fallout of that connection, and, you know, the fact that you were right all along. So what are they realizing here? Spirit, what are they realizing about this whole entire situationship? Okay, what do we have? There's the divine masculine. We have the Hierophant, the Page of Pentacles, Two of Cups, the Two of Swords, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so let's get into this. My goodness. Right. Okay.